Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wanna Be Mindful podcast. I'm here with Jared and I'm Sean. Shawnee boy.
Welcome, folks, to another episode. It's going to be a doozy one today. It may hit the heart a little bit, may hit a little close to home, but we hope that this topic provides value. Maybe bring something across in your own life that you can change, and really improve yourself. Become more mindful. That's what it's about. That's what the whole topic, the whole podcast is about. So let's get right into it, huh?
Jared, take us right off to the start of today's topic.
Today's topic, distractions. Ooh, oh gosh, distractions.
Distractions.
There's a lot of them, that's for darn sure, especially nowadays. More and more things popping up, more billboards, more television commercials, more this and that being thrown into your face. A lot of it's distractions. A lot of things that we can find happiness and growth in is within ourselves. And so we want to bring across some different things that could possibly distract you, the viewer, the listener, or, even distracts ourselves as well that we're continuously trying to work on. And then different methods and ways that we can overcome these distractions. So first one we're going to start off with is technology, social media. Oh boy, social media. There's a lot of crap with social media.
That's the elephant in the room, isn't it, folks? Social media. Jared, tell us.
Well, with social media, it can. I know one thing is like the mindlessly scrolling. So going on Instagram or Twitter, iFunny, whatever it is that you use, it can be a way just to get instant dopamine, and you get notifications when you post something. So when we use social media, it's like that instant dopamine rush, and then if I think it can be used in good purposes, but most people I would say use it for negative purposes, or maybe not what is seemed as negative, but in the long run, it kind of causes negative effects onto that person. So it can be good to share content, do this and that, update your family members. But when we start the mindlessly scrolling, spend multiple hours a day on social media, that's when it can really deter us from our path, deter us from achieving our goals, deter us from meditating, becoming more mindful. And that is not what we're trying to do.
And that's what the brain does sometimes. The brain would rather choose something easy rather than hard to do.
It's very easy and convenient.
The brain just gravitates towards the easy option, the easy shortcut to the achievement overall, and it would just rather choose to do something way easier, and because it's more automatic that way, than rather than going through a challenging or let's say a little more difficult task that is going to be rewarding in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem with our brains. The biggest key factor here to understanding distractions, the key factor is self-awareness. If you're not even self-aware that you're being distracted and that you have them in your life and you're complaining of why you're not achieving your goals or creating them, then you're not going to get anywhere. You haven't admitted the problem. You haven't recognized a problem yet.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't recognize a problem, then you're stuck in the same loop that everybody else is in.
Yeah. So it's going down that easy route that you were just saying, because it takes really no effort than opening up your phone, scrolling, and just taking in content and laughing or whatever it is that you're doing with your social media or technology. But rather than using your brain power for reading, using your eyes and using your thinking brain, that takes a little more effort. And then, even deeper, learning a skill, playing an instrument, or working on the computer, doing something for work, school, whatever the case may be, that takes a lot more effort and a lot more brain power rather than turning it off. And that's kind of the same thing with television as well. So that's another distraction.
Hmm.
is television, movies, and I think it can be a really great thing to do with people and to even just relax sometimes, because we're not saying to just, not relax and take time off and enjoy all the wonderful things that life has to offer, but it can be too much at times. And so people that, binge watch TV shows or watch movies all day, they spend an entire day just taking in content and not really bringing anything out into the world, not using the brain to how it could be, not energizing themselves, working out. That's when it can just hurt you. It can hurt you in the end. And that's a lot of times what we do. And it's encouraged sometimes, like there's so much TV shows. That's what a lot of people talk about. So it's encouraged, oh, you just had a work day and at a job that you may not like, and you want to go home and watch TV. Like that's the easy thing to do. Just sit and relax and watch TV. But it can be the more difficult thing to then, after you work your job, something that you don't really find interest or love doing, to then go home and then do something and work on something that you're passionate about, doing something that can improve yourself. And so that's what we're trying to encourage here. Watch out for those distractions. Watch out for going on the TV. Watch out for going on social media, because that's the easy thing to do. Pick up the phone or pick up the remote and just turn something on and take it in and just turn off your brain. It's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to activate our brain. We're trying to get those circuits running and thinking and creating, and because that in the end will just create a spiral effect. Because once you get that momentum of then creating and finding that groove with improving yourself, it's going to create a snowball effect, and you're going to start loving that even more than you do watching TV and just turning off your brain. You're going to start becoming addicted to improving yourself and doing what's really best for you in the end. So
I absolutely agree with you, Jared. And this podcast is a mindful podcast, but with
we
mindfulness
try to be.
also comes self improvement and self development. So, was that you or me?
That was you.
Okay. With that, I was saying, sorry, let me just get
No,
back on
you're
track
good.
here.
You're good.
Distractions, like I just got a text message, bada bing, bada boom, right?
Yeah,
Throws you off course.
I got distracted.
But what I was saying was that, like you said about coming home, coming home and wanting to watch TV after a long day of work because
Oh
you've
yeah.
earned it,
Oh
you want to
yeah.
relax, you want to take it
Yeah.
easy. Some news channels, or not news channels, but TV networks, they pay attention to their audience analytics,
Yeah,
and they
they
see
look
what
at the
type of
analytics.
audience they have that come home, and it's like a working force that comes back and wants to watch TV, and they set up their TV specials, and they in their commercials they have like on Thursdays night like have a wine and a romance show to watch, and they started hosting that so people got excited for that on Thursday night
Hmm.
because Friday night is usually the night you enjoy your weekend, like it's TGIF, Friday finally the weekend's here, I can have fun, relax, unwind, reset. And then TV programs know that you're coming home after work tired and just wanting to do something relaxed, so they get you in that habit. And people that work and come home and they usually watch TV and they do that for a while, that's automatic now. So that's an automatic distraction they might not even realize that they have.
Hmm.
And distractions tend to happen a lot in the environments we're placed in. So to minimize distractions, you have to edit your environment. You have to arrange your environment in a manner that it doesn't allow for distractions to come through and get you. Like, for example, never doing homework in your bedroom because your bedroom is where you sleep. Your body automatically goes in your bedroom and it just thinks subconsciously that this is a place where I relax, I sleep, I watch Netflix. It's not a working environment. That's why people have home offices. So that could help minimize distractions if you're trying to fix distractions in your home life. And if you go to your home office to do work, make sure you do work and not go on TikTok or YouTube and scroll and do like little pleasures, little social media pleasures like dopamine in your work area, because then now you're going to start a bad habit doing that.
Exactly. And it's not going to come right away as well. Like you got to work yourself up to it. Just know that it's a little bit of a journey because if you're so used to watching TV right when you come home from work all the time, then it's going to be a habit for a little while and it's going to be something you look forward to. So you have to kind of consciously, slowly, or or you can do it quickly, but break out of that habit and eventually you can get to the point you can get to the point where you will look forward to doing something else and watching TV just feels like nothing to you. It feels like a waste of your time even because you're onto other things like creating and doing things that you feel is actually making change in your life and really makes your brain working. So, just know it takes time and a little bit of effort and you can break out of those bad habits that you do create. So another one we got is the people in your life, people, toxic relationships, and friends. So this can be a big one,
Oh, yeah.
because who you surround yourself is with can change how you are.
Show me your friends, and I'll show you the future.
Exactly. So if we surround ourselves with not so great of people, people that got addictions, are only bringing us down rather than helping us go up, then naturally you're going to stay at the same level as them. You're going to go down with them. If they want to constantly invite you every single night to the bar,
Those are
and
the silent killers, the ones that really their life is together, but they ask you to always hang out or come out with them when you know you shouldn't and you should stick to working or trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve. It's hard to say no to our friends
Mhm,
like that, we haven't hung out with a while, but they ask you to hang out, but you are trying to do something, you have to sacrifice that. And
the
that's
sacrifice.
and those are the silent killers. That's what people usually can't overcome is
hmm
that sacrifice right there.
Yeah, because with a good friend, they may not mean anything bad. They just want to, have fun, hang out with you. And so the intentions are good, but in the end this could just hurt you if you don't realize it for what it is and can take yourself away from that situation and know to stick on your path. You're worried about hurting their feelings. You're worried about, I don't know, being an outcast, ruining a relationship. But you shouldn't worry about these things because real friends will want to see you improve and maybe it'll make them realize in themselves that they're only doing things to hold themselves back and they'll start going up with you. So if we can just realize certain relationships, realize where we're at, where we're going with the certain people around us, then it can create change and you can start going towards the way of improvement and putting yourself around those people that just teach and inspire you and only help you go up and are incredibly happy that you are improving yourself and that you're gaining mindfulness, money, skills, whatever the case may be. They only want to see improvement for you. They don't want to hold you back. So those are the real friends, the real people that we need in our lives. And relationships too. I mean, I feel like that could be a full episode of talking about the right type of relationships. And we're by no means relationship counselors or, you know,
Experts.
experts on that matter. But what we do know is if you're constantly being around somebody in a real relationship, if you're constantly around them and they only bring distress into your life, but you're too scared to lose that person or whatever the case may be. If they're only causing distress, holding you back, bringing out the worst in you, then maybe it's a problem with you, maybe it's a problem with them, but you need to be able to separate yourself from toxic relationships because you need to see it for how it is and you can't be held back. Got to be mindful. You got to always move forward. That's what it's about. So, if you want to spread any light on that, you can, but unless you don't.
You killed it.
Okay, thank you. I
You
appreciate
nailed
that.
it.
Thank
Awesome.
you. So another one is societal obligations, jobs, work. If you want to touch upon that, how that holds us back, distracts us. Work.
Right. Work is a big one because work is implemented in our heads, in our minds at a very young age. Work hard to make money, to
Work, work, work.
hopefully retire 60 years later, and eventually you die. That's basically what life is, and it's sad to view it that way.
And
And
we're
I,
putting our minds too. If you don't have a job, you're a failure. What are you going to do with the future? What are you going to do without money? How are you going to provide? We get fears into our head when really go out and live in nature. You don't need money. You don't need a job. Certainly, you got to have a plan. You got to know how you want to go about things. You got to be smart, but you don't have to do what society tells you and what's instilled into you as such a little kid. So that's partially working on yourself, working on your skills, and knowing what you want for yourself as well. Because if you want to work a job the rest of your life, 9 to 5, that's fine. But if you want to go out and explore, be in nature, go on different traveling journeys and experience different things, then you got to make that your reality.
and the reality is that if society is harping on you and saying that you're going to fail at something or just, basically hating on whatever you want to achieve, it's because they're mad at themselves because they can't achieve it. And that's the honest reality of it. It's not
Precisely.
that you can't achieve it and, it doesn't make sense for you to do that and you're going to waste your life or time. No, it's because society, the majority, they're not they don't have enough willpower, discipline, mindfulness to go out and achieve what you want to achieve. So they're trying to bring you down with them so they can feel better. And that's what I'm starting to realize as I've grown in my years of experience as an old, wise, mindful soul.
Growing in your old age.
I'm getting there, man. But yeah, what do you think about that? About what I just said? Do you agree with that? Like, I feel like society does want to hold people back because they can't do it themselves, or they
Hmm.
just they're just mad haters, mad.
100%. I mean, there's a certain consensus around society into what's normal, what you should do, because the average person, lives an average life. That's why, it's average.
Hmm.
So it can be incredibly difficult to break out of that social stigma to not do what everybody else is doing, because if you're not doing what everybody else is doing, then you're going to be looked at as doing it wrong. And so, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right there
Thank you.
on how, you know, a lot of the times people don't want to see you reach your true potential because you're outdoing them. You're more happy than them, you have more money than them, you're more fit than them. So when people aren't happy with themselves, they start look to outside sources for happiness. And so if they just see somebody living their best life and they're happy, then that's going to piss them off. And so that's something that's internally wrong with them, and they're probably not listening to the Want to Be Mindful podcast. It's probably one of the biggest issues they have.
Right.
And so I think everybody should listen to the Want to Be Mindful podcast, not being biased,
Of course not.
but I think it would help.
Objectively, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you should rate it 5 stars right now if you haven't already.
5 stars, that's a lot of stars.
We need them. But
Desperately. No, we don't need any stars. We don't need anything. We just do this for,
this is free gospel
yeah,
for the boys and the girls out there.
yeah.
We're all just little boys and girls at the end of the day. We're just kids at the end of the day. Even though you're 40 years
Exactly.
old, you're still that same little kid you were when you were 5 years old in kindergarten. You're the same kid.
Hmm.
We're still the kids we used to be. Kanye West, 2018.
Exactly. A lot of times we're told that the kid in you needs to die, that you need to take away that kid in yourself. Don't have fun. Have a job. Go to work. Sew those mittens, give them out. But, told to be adults when sometimes what feels right to us isn't what we're told to do. So sometimes you got to go to that inner self, look to what feels right to you, not to what's right to other people. Doesn't matter. They don't know you. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you've done.
And they don't know what you're capable of.
They don't know what you're capable of. Only you can find that out for yourself. So that's pretty beautiful right there.
I
Great
agree.
one, Sean.
I agree.
So another one, it kind of goes into like working a job and working in general, but money can hold people back. The fear of not having enough, the fear that just money causes a lot of people fear, and especially when a society is ruled by money. If you don't have many skills, then it can be difficult to live life without money, of course.
Mm.
So that's one. If you want to touch upon that, you can.
It's just crazy how money, such a in an objective form, piece of paper that runs the world basically,
Mhm.
and the view and the ideal of money in people's head is just so much bigger and grander than what it actually is. Imagine, boom, nuclear holocaust, zombie apocalypse, whatever you may have, money's not an issue in this
Yeah,
world,
money's out the window.
and it's like you worried your whole life
Hmm.
about money, stressing about it, and then boom, zombies knocking down everyone's doors. You have a couple guns and stuff, and now what's the currency now? Currency is now food,
Yeah, food,
water,
water.
guns.
That has the most value in the
You see what
world.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
But right now, society's on a fragile thin line. It's like a fragile piece of glass that everyone's stepping on. Like we got overweight people, like
Mm.
100 people capacity is on this elevator glass right now,
Hmm.
and they just keep stacking in more people, and the glass is money. The glass is money, and it's about to break because once the money, like, what if inflation hits, or and the dollar goes below zero, or crazy stuff happens, and then people mindset about money, it's like it was just a piece of paper the whole time, and you stress all these years about it.
Hmm.
You got to get water, guns, and food right now.
Yeah. Or you create your ego and create how you see yourself around your money. You say, "Oh, I have this amount of money, so I'm a valuable person." That's just kind of who I am. I'm kind of a rich dude, a rich girl, and that's how I can act. I can act differently because of my money. When in reality, like the situation that you said, a zombie apocalypse, money has no value in that circumstance. So what do we do right now with money? We create the value.
That's right.
Money is determined by each and every person. The value in it is determined differently in everybody else's heads. So
That's true.
you can create your mindset around money.
And that's why we're on this mindful podcast, because money mindset is a real thing. Rich people, they're rich because they have that mindset of a rich mind. So if you start making your mind feel as if you're a rich person and doing, theoretically what a rich person would do, or acting how a rich person would act, like walking out your door with a smile on your face, being grateful, just having
Saying
a
thank you.
saying a thank you, having a positive energy, and you're saying and you're grateful for the funds that you do have, even if you have $1 in your bank account, you're
Hmm.
just grateful for having that.
Even if your net worth is as much as a toothbrush.
Yep. And you're not letting it bother you. You're brushing it off your shoulders.
Hmm.
That's the type of attraction that you'll start pulling in money, because you have that positive energy flow with you, and that's just going to attract more positive energy, more opportunities, more people to help you out, unexpected ways of cash flow, unexpected checks, unexpected money making opportunities. Like, it's about mindset. If you're constantly in the negative and you're constantly worried about paying bills, then you're creating more bills for you to pay. You're creating more negative mindset. You're just stacking. You're attracting what you give out. Whatever you're giving out, that's what you're going to bring in more. People don't understand this, Jared. People don't understand it.
But some
I'm
do.
trying to explain it to
Some do.
people, family members, friends. I'm trying to tell people right now, please change your mindset.
Listen to us. Want to be mindful
And if you
podcast.
don't believe me, because I'm just a little guy, a little human being here, then do your own research and look
Or
into it.
statistically, you're a pretty large person, but I'm not saying large in that way. I'm saying height.
Thank you. Because if you could have just
Statistically.
said I was tall, then not large.
Well, okay, yeah,
It's
my
fine.
fault,
It's
my
fine.
fault.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But you know what I mean, though, right? The
Oh
mindset.
yeah, 100%. Everything revolves around the mindset.
I mean, wouldn't you
That's
want, if that was true, let's say you're a negative person for most of your life and you're negative about money and you're a very skeptical person. But I tell you that all you have to do is put a little work into your into your mind, and change your mindset, how you feel, start feeling an emotion,
hmm
and you'll attract what you feel. You attract positive attracts positive. Just knowing that, if I told you that, like, wouldn't that make you a little hopeful? Like that's cool. Like, let's try it. Let's don't knock it before you try it. Like,
hmm
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that give you a little excitement? Like, okay, maybe there is a way out of this dark negative tunnel that I've just put myself in for 17, 18, 25, 40 years, whatever, how old you are. And then you can finally start taking baby steps out of the darkness. I feel like that should open people's minds up way more. But I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it's taken effect on the world.
Yeah, sometimes people are just too negative, you know. They buried themselves in a hole that is incredibly difficult to get out of, but they can get out of it. And yeah, so that can lead us to the next section, the the other half, that that leap on the other side of the tunnel, on what we can do about these distractions. How do we take these distractions out of our lives? What, you know, can get us on that path to improve. So, what we can start with is doing things that are difficult. So, just like we were talking about before, the more difficult thing, rather than just get into a comfortable mindset, a certain comfortable habit that we have, is to do something difficult. Throw ourselves in a difficult circumstance. If you want to be a stand up comedian, throw yourself up on that stage, learn the hard way. And it's can sometimes just be about that first step. But if we go towards our fears, then on the other side of doing that fear, we'll find a lot of joy and gratitude in doing these things, and a lot of learning lessons as well. A lot of learning lessons that we didn't know that we were capable of. So, putting ourselves in difficult circumstances can really break us out of that comfortability and stretch our minds in ways that we didn't think was possible. So, that's one way to go about it. So,
That's a good way.
yeah, yeah. Doing things that are difficult. That's a big one.
Environment, as I talked about.
hmm Putting
Change.
yourself in a different environment, you know. Sometimes we live the same mundane lives each and every day, going to the same job, being around the same people, and that does change who you are. It changes how you do things, it changes your habits, it changes how you see the world. So, if we can break out of our environment, travel around, go to new places, go on new journeys, go to a retreat, you know, find different things that can break us out of our environment and go out and experience. That can create change and get you away from distractions, because instead of just taking in content, doing the same thing, you're out there experiencing. You're out there doing different things.
And taking initiative to remove distractions from your environment,
hmm
your home environment, work environment, whatever it is, taking that initiative to remove the distraction. So, like I said, the key is self-awareness. Make sure you're aware of the distraction, and then removing it is the next step.
hmm
Removing it from the environment, putting it in a hard-to-reach place.
Exactly.
Like if your distraction is playing video games like the PS5,
Mm.
then maybe unplugging the PS5, because now you have to take extra steps to plug it in if you want to play it. And if that's not even enough, god damn it, Billy Bob.
Hopefully it doesn't. Does that mess with the video?
No. Can you call her?
Why are you answering then?
I'm not answering.
Calling, we're mid show. We'll do it afterwards. We're almost done.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks.
Sorry, Emily, if you're listening. But
Yeah, you could just text her though while I'm talking.
okay, I got you.
So, unplugging the PS5 is making it harder for that. But going a step further, how about you pack the PS5 up in a box and you put it in your closet that's down the hall from your game room, and now you go on with your day. You come home, and like I told you, your brain is going to usually go towards the easy avenue. So if it recognizes that your PS5 or Xbox, whatever gaming console you have, is down the hall in the closet, boxed up with every plug in that box, not even close to your TV, then you might just instead read a book, or you might not even go play it. You might just go to sleep, get some good rest. Just a lot of things like that.
Or take it the next level and just smash your PS5. Now that can be an incredibly difficult thing to do. If you've been playing Fortnite since you were 15 years old, you emote every single day of your life, you do the little diddly do dance, and you've been doing it forever, it's going to be difficult.
Okay.
I'm not saying that the initiative is going to be easy, but you can go to different levels to take out these distractions. You like you said, you got to be self-aware. You got to know what's setting you back, and you can do that from self-reflection, taking a moment, put yourself out in nature, put yourself out in a place where you're completely alone, and just look at your life for how it is. Look at where you're going, what you're doing, and know what things are holding you back, what habits that you have. What Just go about your normal day and what you do. What you do at work, how you treat people, the foods that you consume, the habits that you have in place, the sleep habits that you have in place, how people treat you, and how you go about your days. Just see everything for how it is, and if that's the life you want to live. And if you're on that path, then beautiful. If you're doing everything that you want, achieving the things that you want, then awesome. Like you most likely have great habits in place, and you're doing what feels right to you. But if you're not, and there's certain things, then just sometimes all it takes is an hour to look back, self-reflect, and realize these distractions in yourself. And so that's why, going on, even sometimes going on a trip and taking a week-long trip out in the woods can change your life in a totally different factor. It can make that shift that you might have needed at the exact time. So putting yourself in a different environment, being able to self-reflect, see your life for how it is, will help you realize some things. And it's difficult now, the distractions that we have, work and all this stuff. It's hard to get away, family. But if you really care about it, this is your life. Take control of it, and that's taking control and doing what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing what's best for you, then you can't be your best for the people in your life. So if you're at the best version of yourself, then you're helping the people around you be the best versions of themselves as well. That's what we're going towards.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, yes. So, another thing that goes into is meditating. Meditating, taking time to clear our minds up, to, be free, have peace of mind, not letting the outside world determine how we live our lives, our emotions. Then meditating is a powerful, powerful habit to put in place.
Yep.
And you can study it. We can make an episode on meditation.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, I agree. So that'll come in the future. But either way, you can still do your research now and find what works best for you and put that habit into place and just try it out, because everything's trial and error. It's going to take time.
Stay mindful.
Stay mindful while you're meditating. Stay mindful all throughout your days as you're going about your distractions. So,
Final remarks?
final remarks. Why do you want to end it so quick? Because your phone's...
Can you just make sure everything's okay?
Yeah,
Because
I
it could
got
be
you.
an emergency, It's a lot of calls. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so another method of taking these distractions away is creating goals. It could be where we're too comfortable in life. We could be doing what's easy to us, and sometimes we just don't know where to go. So it can be to create goals. Create what the things that we need in our lives, or the things that we want, and go towards that. So creating a goal system, and we had a whole episode about goals, so tune into that
Episode 3.
Episode
If
3.
you want a backlog.
Yeah. So we won't go too deep into that, but having a set order of goals can get you out of that comfortability, can take you away from the distractions and work towards something that you want. And that also goes along the lines of learning a skill, doing something that you feel can actually be applicable to the world, something you're passionate about, something that you want to create in your life. And so, creating those goals, learning the skill, that can set you away from it and really make you do something that you want to do so bad that all the other stuff just seems like distractions. You can see it and feel it as distractions and stuff that you don't want to do. So that's another one. Distractions, just like you're distracted right now. And
I think
so
that was a great podcast we just had there.
I agree, and I'm not done.
Let's wrap it up.
And so
Let's
wrap it up.
She's in the building.
I say we go another 15 minutes. And so
This guy wants me sleeping on the couch tonight.
sleep.
You're-
Have some great sleep.
You're like a villain, dude. You're like an evil villain, just here to cause chaos. But no, in seriousness, if you continue, if you have more to add, because you're spreading value.
I know. But yeah, all in all, you don't want to say that everything's a distraction. You want to still do things that are beneficial for you, and you want to fill your time up with too many things, because sometimes we do need to slow down and take care of ourselves and reward ourselves. So that's another thing to help with distractions, is not do little things to maybe feel good in little moments, but actually take time aside, work really hard for a week, create a lot of value, create a lot of purpose in your life, or just make money to help yourself out in whatever circumstance you're in. But by the end of that, reward yourself. Find stuff that is really rewarding to you. So taking those trips, taking care of certain people, and or trying a new restaurant and tasting some really good food. So don't be afraid to reward yourself. There's a lot of beautiful things to experience and a lot of great things to take in. So we can still reward ourselves. And distractions. Don't get too distracted. Be mindful,
They're out there.
because they are out there, just like everything we listed.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've listened to this far, please 5 stars on the Spotify and like the video on YouTube if you're watching it from YouTube. Me and Jared really appreciate it, and it just makes us feel really good about what we're doing and that people are getting some value out of these podcasts. That being said, stay mindful, keep striving for progress. And Jared, last words?
Stay mindful. Stay away from them damn distractions.